So welcome to my walkthrough of TopHap. So this is a great tool for any realtor looking for more information to have data-driven decision making and to share with your clients. This is how the best realtors get the most amount of information. It's a very reasonably priced tool, but check this out. This is the Woodlands here. You can see this amazing heat map of all the neighborhoods. The darker it is, the more expensive the neighborhoods are. And this is just the start. This is just one criteria of their top hat estimate. Fair warning, their estimate isn't the greatest estimate in the world. Some people even say Zillow is better, and that, you know how bad realtors think Zillow is. But it's great just to see the different types of neighborhoods and what kind of values there are. Just this estimate, but there's a whole other slew of things available here. Let's take a look at their value. You can zoom in on any neighborhood that you want. Here's the Woodlands. As you can see, East Shore is very expensive, especially near the lake. It's way more expensive. And if you click on any of these, you can see how many properties there are, or what's on sale right now. This is just sold a couple years ago. And you can see their estimated values of all these different properties. Again, the values are not the greatest. You have to do your own CMA, and they have a CMA tool here, which is really awesome. But it's a real awesome way to get a big glance of any neighborhood that you want to see, especially now that in the Woodlands, and especially in Magnolia, there's all these new neighborhoods coming up. This is a really helpful tool to see everything in one fall swoop. So let's take a look around Woodlands here. So let's go to Indian Springs maybe, and see how things are looking. As you can see, it's very expensive next to the Palmer course here. But this is where it's really cool. There's all these different type of criteria that you can look at. So let's see, like, this is one of my favorite ones, is the Educational Climate Index. So this basically tells you how good the school systems are near the neighborhoods you're looking at. Look at that. How cool is that? You can't get this kind of information anywhere else. So as you can see, the school system here is really good in Cochran's Crossing, Indian Springs, probably because John Cooper, one of the best schools in Texas, is right here. But as you can see, the East Shore has a great index as well. Anywhere you look where the purple is, there's great schools around there. It makes an easy way to find areas where there's great schools. And especially if you have a listing in this area or you're selling your home in this area, that means increased value for sure. So that's a really cool thing that they have. They also have a household income, which kind of reflects usually the school or the values. And there's a lot of other cool things like crime index. If you're in a new market, you want to see what kind of crime there's, weather risks. I think obviously in Texas, we're going to see a lot of hurricane weather risks, but this is also important for the Woodlands where there's a lot of flooding near the rivers. As you can see in the purple areas, there's more flooding risks there. A lot of people don't know about that in the Woodlands, that there's a lot of flooding here. So it's important to stay north of the flooding zone. All this green area is a little bit better. Again, these are not guarantees, they're just historic data that they have. And this kind of data really enriches you don't have to, it takes the guesswork out of anything that you're doing. And that's really where realtors can excel, is when they take the guesswork and use data analytics to inform their decision makings. Because back in the day, you would basically just do a CMA, you try to get the 5 best properties, but now you have data on your side. You have AI on your side. You can take all this information and export it. So let's say I was looking, let's go back to like the lot size. This is cool too. You can see how big the lot size are in different areas. Like if this is a realtor, this is probably blowing your mind to be able to see this kind of stuff in one swoop. My client wants to have a, acreage farm, like half acre. Where am I going to go? You're going to filter on the MLS and try to find one by one? No, you can know right here that they got a lot of big lot sizes. Or in the Woodlands, where can I live in the Woodlands and actually has decent lot sizes? Oh, right here. Let me check this area out. Okay, again, by the Palmer Clubhouse. There's a lot of good things in this area. But let's take one of these examples. So take this home. And then this is a really cool thing. In just one thing, you can export this report. Let's just do a small property report. And I'm just going to download this right now. Press download. That's all it really takes. It takes all my information, all the historic data from this property. It's going to compile into this nice, beautiful report that I can see everything about this property really quickly. So as I can see, this is a quick snapshot. and it tells me all the basic information about this property, when it was last sold, how many baths, bedrooms, the living size, and you can add a bunch of properties to this to get a bunch of detailed property reports in 1 second. The full report is also really cool. So if you go to full report, this is where you can choose the different things you want on the report. And not everything's going to be available, but let's see what's available for this one. And you used to have to go through the tax records, go to the MLS, click on all the different tabs and whatnot. All I did is press one button. I'm waiting. This is the worst part. I waited 10 seconds. And usually they even have a screenshot of the street view, but I guess for this house, they opted out of the street view, so they're showing just their satellite view. But normally you get to see the house right away. But here you go. I have a branded top hat. I can change the logo, but branded top hat, branded report right here for any client. For my own, I always print this out for any listing I'm looking at because it gives me all the information I really need to make an informed decision for my clients. As you can see, if you go down, it'll give you all the history, the tax history, the mortgage history, anything you can possibly ask for. Like how often it was billed, when was the last, property adjustment. You can look at everything here. The owner information, like Texas is a no sale history state, and look at all this history it has. It's pretty impressive. Um, so you can see what loans they had. Like I said before, like this looks like it has a second mortgage on it. So you can see the different loans that it has on it. That's an important thing to know when you're looking at houses. This is cool in cities when you're looking at more cities. A walkability index 11's pretty good in the Woodlands. I mean, there's some things around here. Usually I see some things in the five, sixes for the Woodlands. But clearly this is a great area near the Palmer Course. You get the Indian Springs Shopping Center like 10 minutes away. So that's why it's probably 11. Gives you the rainfall hazard risk. Like I said, the hurricane is the biggest risk you're going to get in the Woodlands, especially north of the river. And here's why the schools are so good. Look, every single school is and the high school is amazing too. So this is the kind of stuff you're getting. Look, it just gives you all the different reports right away. I don't have to look at all different places. A lot of times this is all filled out with different things, but there's so much information for every house. This one looks like it did a little due diligence to make sure not everything is publicly available. But nonetheless, I got all this information in just one click. That's all I had to do. And you will seem like a genius if you just are able to look at a map and look at the different heat maps that there are for all these different things. You don't want, you want a flat level for building a pool in the future. Well, you want to build somewhere in the, green in the future. You don't have to look at any more guesswork. And this is where the agents really are excelling these days, using this kind of information from TopHap, and compiling it with AI, exporting this stuff, pumping it through AI, and getting even more. Like it's a meta topic analysis that you're going to be doing to get ahead of any competition. And really, if people are not using this right now, they're getting left behind. You can't compete with realtors and different listing agents that are using this kind of data analysis and data intelligence. Um, so I hope that was helpful. If you ever want to check out TopHap, it's tophap.com. Um, and if you ever want to get more information on your property or listing, want me to run your property analysis, I'll be happy to do that as well. My info is in the description below. And until next time, hopefully this was helpful. See y'all.